Today we're going to talk all about our plan for the Brooklyn Half Marathon this Saturday. We're out of a lot of our breakfast groceries at home. Hi, can I have a large iced coffee? Did you get the turkey sausage and egg and cheese on a plain bagel? Thanks so much. Have a good one. And with that, we are back in the car and we're actually at the track. Today, we do need to do just 2 by 1 mile at threshold pace. One thing that I did when I was working with, a coach who worked very closely with Jack Daniels, a famous running coach, and I mentioned it before, the staple workout, the week of the race, Wednesday or Tuesday, depending if you're racing on Saturday or Sunday, is a 3 by 1 mile at threshold workout with, instead of 1 minute rest between reps, you do 2 minutes rest between reps. So you have extra rest. Again, the week of the race, you want to make sure you're not overdoing it, but you want to keep the legs awake and ready to go. So I'm going to be dropping it down just to 2 threshold miles, only because, again, I'm coming off of being sick and just some other things. So going to do 2 by 1 mile at threshold. So let's warm up. So first things first, to get to the race, I actually have a charter bus planned with my club, so my New York City Run Club. We're gonna take a charter bus from the Upper West Side or Upper East Side to the starting area for the Brooklyn Half Marathon. It came out to about $20 per person, so it's really not too bad. And if you ever have a large group that's going to a race, it's not a bad option. Even if you filled half the bus, that's $40 a person. So, if you have a big group, it might be worth it. It's a nice, easy, and comfortable option to get to the starting line. I'm going to be in Wave 1, so my race starts at 7 a.m. and I'm going to be in Corral E. So that's exciting, but I'm going to run the risk, I think, again, of going out too fast, because I'm still in kind of a higher corral from prior races. My personal best on this exact course for the Brooklyn Half Marathon is like a 1 hour and 42 minute half marathon from 2019, I think. And that time places me pretty high in the corral, but I'm really only looking to do about 1 hour 52 minutes to 1 hour and 55 minutes, somewhere in that range, because of the heat, and again because I've been sick and haven't had a chance to train perfectly. Because of that, it might make sense to drop back a corral. I have to figure out where the pacers that I would want to follow are going to be. You're always allowed to drop backwards in corrals, just not forwards. So that might make more sense for me, just to make sure I'm not going out too fast. You go through 7 whole miles before you even leave Prospect Park, so it's a big part of the race. And in my experience, you got to conserve your energy there so you can really let it rip in the the 10K that's out on Ocean Parkway to Coney Island. That's where you really want to let it go and pick up some speed. I'm not planning on bringing a bag for bag check, so I'll have what I need with me and nothing else. I will be bringing my camera. I figure I'll film just because it was going to be a peak race, but again, with my health issue and just other things with the mountain race taking a toll the week before I even got sick, it's not going to be a PR. The weather's going to be warm. Let's just have fun with it. Let me share the race, so I will have my camera. That's pretty much everything I can think about as far as getting to the race. My corral, that's really it. I mean, it's pretty straightforward logistically with this one. It's just all about getting to the starting line. The subway options are plentiful, so it's a good starting point. And even for those of you taking the subway, I'm sure you'll find it pretty easy to get there. Because the track is so crowded, I'll put my camera down. I'm just about to finish this 1 mile warm-up, and then we'll go over the paces for the threshold, how it went, and we'll talk some more about my plan for the pace and just how I plan to attack this course. Gotta hurry back. I've got a 6:45 p.m. meeting today, so I have to get back for that. Now, as far as the run itself, I did do my 1 mile warm-up, which was, you know, up there around probably 9:45 per mile. And then I had a 7:55 threshold mile and a 7:51 threshold mile. So those were the times for 4 laps around the track, 1,600 meters, 1 mile.
All right. And the last thing that I want to go over is just, again, the actual pace and how I'm going to attack each part of the course. You know, like I said, the first 7 miles or so are all happening around and within Prospect Park. And I'm just going to put up my last time that I ran this course, and you'll see, for one, you know, yeah, look how much faster I was. And this is an example of where I want to get back to. And, you know, what I'm using this channel for is motivation to become, you know, at least as fast as I was just a couple of years ago, and then past that even from there. But that aside, you can see here in my mileage breakdown, you know, I was about 15 to 20 seconds slower over that first half of the race, you know, excluding mile 7, because mile 7 is a big downhill coming out of the park. But for the most part, all those hills, I'm up around 8 minutes per mile. And then once I get out onto Ocean Parkway, it's really just a very slight downhill, you know, flat to downhill for the entire way to the boardwalk. And that's where you can really, you know, lock into a pace. For me, it was around 7:40, you know, again, 15 to 20 seconds faster than I was doing in the beginning of the race. And even in the beginning of the race, you know, that excitement, I probably pushed a little bit on the uphills and things like that. So you can really let it go at the end, and that negative split really worked well for me at that point when I got my half marathon PR, and it's the approach I'm going to take on Saturday here. So I'll be going out around 9 minutes per mile, and I really want to lock in at that 9 minute per mile pace while I'm in Prospect Park, especially when I'm doing the uphills. Even when I'm going on some of those downhills, I want to average out right around 9, because I just truly want to make sure I have enough energy. I don't know how my body's going to react after being sick last week. I just don't know how hot it's truly going to get on Saturday, because it's going to be pretty brutal, and my body just hasn't had a chance to adjust. So all those factors, you know, going to go out at 9 minutes per mile and see if I can drop down closer to 8:30 per mile once I get on Ocean Parkway. Once I'm in that straightaway all the way down to, you know, Coney Island, the streets all kind of count down. I think they're avenues, like, I think it's like A through Z. So every time you pass a block, you have a 26 letter count for how close you're getting to the end. And you can kind of feel out how you're feeling, listen to how you're breathing, feel how your muscles feel, and kind of adjust. And again, hopefully just pick up the speed a little bit at a time from there forward. So that's the plan for the actual pacing, and the kind of 2 races, one half of the race that exists hilly in Prospect Park, and another half of the race that's just a straightaway 10K with a slight downhill where you can really lock into a solid pace and, you know, push hard enough that you know, are going to just really get to the end, really giving it your all and sprinting down that boardwalk. That's the way that I like to attack the course, and that's how I'll plan it out for Saturday. So it's been a busy day. I'm exhausted. Tomorrow I will be in New York City for the expo, so I'll have a video about that if you want to see what the expo's like, whether you're racing or not. And then for those of you that are racing, I'm also going to go into Prospect Park, show you some of those hills, give you a little bit of a glimpse of Ocean Parkway and that exit out of the park. And I also have some clips from the very recent New York City half marathon that I can go along with that and show you kind of the running on the hills. So you just have a sense if you're coming from out of town, or, you know, just different area in New York, you'll have a little bit of a visual cue when I put that video up very soon. So stick around, subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope to see you all in the next video.